A big game this weekend is going to be the Eagles and the Broncos. All right, now the Eagles are on a hot streak, man. The Eagles are hot, 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 red hot. You want to get on the Eagles train right now. I'm going to take the Eagles -6.5, -5.5. All right, and that's going to go ahead and that's going to double your money. Eagles -5.5 is going to double your money. The Broncos are a good team. Okay, they're pretty good. I like Bo Nix. He's a good quarterback. I just think that Eagles defense is too much. The Eagles defensive line is going to be coming for Bo Nix. He's going to be running for his life. So if you want to bet on his over for rushing. Do not bet on him to win this game. I don't even think it's going to be close. I'm going to take a -5.5, and that's just me being kind of conservative because I don't want to do too much. But I do think that Eagles defensive line, man, they are fired up. I think they're going to be going for Bo Nix. I think he's going to have a rough day. I think the Broncos are going to have a really rough day running the football. So maybe bet on a passing over for Bo Nix as well. Let's see. Now, one of the biggest stories going into this entire football season for me is going to be the A.J. Brown situation, man. A.J. Brown, he's a great wide receiver. Amazing, talented. You know, he's everything you would want in a wide receiver. He's big, he's fast, he has hands, he can catch, man. A.J. Brown is amazing. But at the rate they are going right now, the Eagles just cannot give A.J. Brown what he needs. A.J. Brown needs stability. He needs a quarterback that can get him the ball 5 to 10 times a game. You know, he wants to shine. He wants to eat. He cannot eat with Jalen Hurts passing the ball 90 yards in a whole game with 0 targets to A.J. Brown. Like, come on, man. People were saying, oh, does he want out? Who wouldn't want out? If you were somebody like A.J. Brown, you're an amazing wide receiver, you are up there with the best, and you are literally just not being used, you're being used as a blocker, yeah, you're not going to want to be there. You know, Jalen Hurts probably a great guy, but if he can't get A.J. Brown the ball, then A.J. Brown is going to want out. I'm surprised that Devontae Smith doesn't want out. You know, Jalen Hurts just can't get him to him. Sirianni isn't really focused on pleasing wide receivers. He's not focused on pleasing running backs. He's not focused on pleasing anybody. He's focused on winning. Rightfully so. You know, A.J. Brown, you know, they say he want to contribute to the winning. Run the ball. Or leave. I think he should leave. What else is he going to do? He's not getting the ball. Nick Sirianni made it clear in the press conference. He said he wants to contribute to this winning. He didn't say he wants to contribute to the team. He said to this winning. He made it clear, this winning. Like A.J. Brown, we are winning. We're not going to stop winning. We're not going to change up winning because you're crying. But I think the Eagles should be just, you know, they should just play ball and go ahead and trade the guy. They don't need him. They can get a really big haul for A.J. Brown. They should go ahead and take it, bro. Just go ahead and cash out for A.J. Brown. You can probably get another receiver and some first-round picks for A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown is a good receiver. He's a great receiver. As far as Jalen Hurts, look, it's not really too much you can say negative about Jalen Hurts for the simple fact that Jalen Hurts just won a Super Bowl. You know, and that wasn't the first Super Bowl he had been to. So, obviously, Jalen Hurts plays winning football. He played winning football in college. Jalen Hurts is a winner. But it hasn't shown that Jalen Hurts can actually play football passing the ball at an elite level. Jalen Hurts isn't really good at getting the ball to a specific receiver. I watched the game with the Chiefs when they were mocking Jalen Hurts for not being able to throw because he had less than 100 yards. He had less than 100 yards. So is Jalen Hurts a number one quarterback or a top quarterback? No way. Not even close. In no world is Jalen Hurts a top quarterback. Jalen Hurts can win you a football game with his legs if you have a great offensive line and a great running back. and a creative coach, and you can run a bunch of screens and short passes and tush pushes. He can tush push you to death. But if you are in a game and you need a quarterback to throw the ball down the field, you cook. Jalen Hurts, he can't help you. Let's just take a minute. We want to dive in on Jalen Hurts stats, bro. Like, Jalen Hurts in 4 football games, this man is averaging 152 passing yards. That is, I mean, they haven't lost a game, but 5 touchdowns in 4 games. I mean, what receiver, what top NFL receiver is going to want to be any parts of this? Bro, he barely had a game over 200. The game against the Chiefs, he barely got over 100. I mean, what exactly is A.J. Brown supposed to do? Jalen Hurts, he's greedy. He takes all the touchdowns for himself. Even though he can't throw the touchdowns, he decides they're just going to touch push into the end zone. I'm going to get the touchdowns for me. I'm not going to give him all the running back. Saquon, he's great, but I think I'll run it in. Let's go ahead and risk everybody's health. Nick Sirianni's lazy. You're going to keep calling a tush push. But, hey, I don't want to sound like a hating Ravens fan. But, no, as far as Jalen Hurts, we just gotta be honest, bro. The guy, he's not a premier passer. I don't think he's an amazing runner, but he wins football games. So good for Jalen Hurts. Do I think he's going to be able to keep a good receiver there or get another one? Absolutely not. No. Once Devontae and AJ leave, he's going to be like Lamar was early in his career, where it's hard to get a receiver. For sure. No doubt about it. All right. And we got this Dallas game. Now, Dallas Jets. Now this is a game where I'm thinking that the Dallas Cowboys are going to definitely win this game. They're going to cover that spread. I'm going to take Dallas minus 5.5. Dallas minus 5.5. I think they'll come in, and I think the offense is rolling right now with George Pickens and Dak Prescott. I think they'll come in and they'll just outscore the Jets. I don't think the Jets offense is good enough to keep up with the Dallas Cowboys. The Jets always start late. I think Dallas will come in and I think they'll start off early beating them. I think Dallas will cover minus 5.5. Take Dallas minus 5.5. The Jets, what's his name? The Jets quarterback is most likely Fields is going to be able to score. I think Fields is going to get in that end zone. I think it's really, really safe to say Justin Fields is going to get in the end zone only because it's hard for him to throw the ball. It's hard for him to throw a touchdown. He might have to run it in. Last week, he had a spectacular run into the end zone. I think he's going to do it again. So you want to take Dallas straight money line. Well, Dallas minus 5.5. Don't try to take it and parlay it with anything else. Just take Dallas minus 5.5. Double your money. Easy bet. All right. Now, let's talk about Dallas right now. Dallas lost CeeDee Lamb. But they're in a situation where they didn't really need 2 number 1 receivers, which is what they have. They have 2 really good receivers with George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb. George Pickens seems to have embraced this opportunity he has in front of him to go ahead and be the number 1 receiver with a top quarterback. He's coming from Pittsburgh. They had a lot of problems at quarterback. Mason Rudolph was playing quarterback. Then Kenny Pickett was playing quarterback. Then you had Russ at quarterback. It was no stability. Now you got Dak Prescott. He's a premier pocket passer. He can get the ball down the field to you. And George Pickens is fully taking advantage of his opportunity. So I would take George Pickens as far as his receiving yards and receptions. They got a really good connection. Dak Prescott is looking good this season. If he keeps it up, he'll probably be in the MVP race. So Dak is looking good. The Cowboys are looking great. Now, one thing that did come to my attention is it seems like the Dallas Cowboys fan base and owner are kind of looking at the Green Bay game, which ended as a tie, as a win. Jerry Jones was interviewed after the game, and he was pretty much saying things like, "Oh, they got Micah, and we got what we got, and it was a draw." And he seemed satisfied with himself. Jerry, you did not win the football game, okay? And if you did win the football game, that has nothing to do with whether or not you want to trade. All right, but that's that. The Dallas Cowboy fans, this is right around the time they're gonna start tripping. Dallas Cowboy fans, pretty soon here, they're gonna start saying this is a Super Bowl year. Yeah, they're gonna go ahead, they're gonna beat the hell out of the Jets, who stink. And then they already tied with the Green Bay Packers, and pretty soon here the Cowboy fans are gonna be saying Super Bowl. Yep. After they beat the Jets. The terrible Jets. Book it. All right. Now I'm gonna be doing the rest of the slate later on this evening. If you want to watch, I'll be doing it about 5:00 Eastern time. So tune in. Thanks for watching.